September was my second ever month on Book Talk and reading books that weren't self-help books. And I read 18 books. So I'm gonna go fast. I don't do star ratings. I'm just gonna tell you what I thought of them and if you should read them or not. So the very first book I read in September was The Ritual by Chantal Tessier. It was okay. I don't have anything else to say about it. It came so highly recommended that I don't know if I just had really high expectations or what, but the very first 200 pages of the book, so much happened and I didn't like it. I almost DNF'd. But the only reason I kept going was because I still had like 80% of the book left and I was like, well, what else could happen? So much happened. If I were talking to my best friend, I'd be like, no. Unless you're really into dark romance. I'm realizing that I'm not. So after that, I went to Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. I really liked it. It was a dark romance, but I really liked it. It had just a little bit of mystery in with it, and overall, I thought it was a great book. I also really like H.D. Carlton's writing, so I think that had a lot to do with it as well. After that, I went to Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. If you've been following me for at any time at all, I love Penelope Douglas, I love Credence, and I love Birthday Girl, so I went with Punk 57. It was too high school for me. Like a lot of high school. I'm 31. I don't know if I just didn't relate. I've read other books that were like high school-ish, and I don't know. I just didn't, it wasn't like blow my socks off. It was okay. After that, I read My Temptation by T.L. Swan. It's my favorite book. My Temptation by T.L. Swan was actually an ad on my Kindle. And I was like, let me read about it. And it sounded so good. Turns out it's the first in a series and it's the only one out right now. And T.L. Swan herself commented on my video and she did say that there's more to come. And it is a series and I am so excited for anything she puts out in the future. I love her as an author. Okay, after that I went with The Way I Hate Him by Megan Quinn. Loved it. I loved it. It was really good. That's really all I have to say about that one. After that, I went with the Madison Kate series by Tate James. Not a fan. I genuinely hated it. I hated it. I am mad at myself for even finishing it, honestly. I knew I hated it by like book 2 and I still finished all 4 books, but I confirmed it. I did not like it. And I think I'm learning that like DNFing is okay. And that's one of the books that I definitely would have done that with. And I would never recommend anyone reading that series in my entire life. If you love it, I'm so happy for you. I'm just not a fan. So after the Madison Kate series, I went with Perfect Strangers by J.T. Geisinger. That book gave me whiplash. I swear to God. I was like, what happened? And then what? Are you kidding me? Like so much, like so many twists and turns. Now, was it a good book? Yes. Was it what I was looking for in a book? No. Like the very first half of the book was really good. And then the twists and turns started coming and I just felt like attacked, honestly. But overall, it was a good book. And if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for a lot of twists and turns and like you don't know what's gonna happen, like you have no idea what's gonna happen, even if you think you do, you don't, that's the book for you. So after that, I was like, you know what? I need some more T.L. Swan in my life. So I went with the Miles High series. Oh my God, it was amazing. I loved it. So if you watched my very first review video of August, I did the Twisted series, the Twisted Love series, and it was a 4-book series of like all friends, and it was just so monotonous. And I was worried about that with the Miles High series because it was 4 books about brothers, and I was like, I'm worried. No. Those books are not the same as each other. Every single book is different. Every story is different. Every twist and turn is different. It is so good. I love that series so much. Highly recommend. I would recommend that series to literally everyone I know. After that, I was on a high. Loved it. But I was like, okay, I don't want to go into another series. I just want to go into just like a standalone book. And I was like, I'm going to go with something really, really popular on TikTok. So I went with Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I don't understand the hype. I really don't. It was okay. It was fine, but it was just boring. Especially after Miles High series, maybe. I don't know. But it just wasn't, I don't know. It wasn't great. It was okay. And then there's a second book too, and I was disappointed by the characters that it was going to follow. I really wanted it to follow a different set of characters, and because it didn't, I didn't read it, and I don't plan to. So after that, I went with Forever Never by Lucy Score. Loved it. Thought it was great. Would highly recommend. That's all I really have to say about that. Okay, then I did Camera Shy by Kay Cove. If I had a manuscript for my husband on how I wanted to be treated, it would be Camera Shy by Kay Cove. Okay? Seriously. I literally told him that. He didn't listen because when do husbands listen? But I told him, I said, if you want a manuscript on how to treat me and how to treat me in the bedroom, this is it. Seriously, I was like, this might be my new favorite book over My Temptation by T.L. Swan. So good. 5 out of 5. Loved it. Okay, after Camera Shy, I went with Faking with Benefits. Also came highly recommended on my TikTok. I didn't like it. I am not a why choose girl. I'm not. I don't like it. Reverse Harem. Okay, my very first book talk book was Credence, which is a reverse harem book, but it is not a why choose book. Different. Very different. Faking with Benefits is a why choose. Not for me. I didn't like it. Other than that aspect though, it was okay, but it wasn't like blow my socks off. It's not something I'd recommend. So overall, my favorites for September were definitely My Temptation by T.L. Swan and Camera Shy by Kay Cove. Love those books so much.